today's video I'm going to be talking about a spinal cord disease which is called Syringmeilia. The reason I want to talk about it is because I don't think there is enough awareness about it, and that's because it's also because that's what I have. So I'll start by saying how it was discovered, and then I'll go on to explain a bit more about it. So this was, I think, about 2003. It's a little while now. I was washing up, and then I know the water was hot, but my right hand, I couldn't feel the temperature of the water. It just felt lukewarm to me. So I thought, oh, this is strange. So I went to the doctors and explained to him that I couldn't feel the hot sensation on my hand, on my right hand, and it felt numb. Anyway, so he sent me off to have an MRI. I did, and then got the results. I went back to see him, and he said that I have a spinal cord disease called Syringmeilia. So I was like, okay, never heard of it. I think he was suspecting that it might be MS. So he told me that I had it, and then I had appointments to see the neurologist. So I think maybe about a year I didn't really have much more symptoms except the sensation of the not feeling hot temperatures moved up my arm, and then about 2 years later I started walking funny. I was walking straight, but my body was walking to the right. Every time I took a step, I would turn to the right. And then to stop me walking to the right and bumping into people, I had to stop and then walk a couple of steps, but then it would do the same thing again. And then also I started getting like tension headaches here, but I can feel like trickling. Ooh, weird sensation. And then this eye started to hang down like this. So I thought, this ain't right. So when I went to my next neurologist appointment, I told them the symptoms, and then I was referred to the neurological hospital in Russell Square for to see someone more with more knowledge of the Syringmeilia. So basically he said that they can do an operation on my back where they put a shunt in, and if you don't know what a shunt is, it's just a drainage tube basically to get the fluid off of my spine. So the excess fluid that was on my spine, the short name for it is syrinx, so it's just a sac filled with excess fluid, which was pressing on my nerves, which was affecting the way that I walk and my sensation and other little symptoms. So they said that they'll put that in to slow down the progression of it. Now, some people have little small syrinx, about an inch and a bit, but unfortunately mine is the whole length of my spine. So I had the operation, I think it was 2006 by the time, you know, they thought I had enough symptoms to have the procedure done. So I had it done, stayed in hospital for a week, everything was fine, no complications. My foot felt a bit numb, but they said that it's due to where they put the shunt, that it will just touch some of the nerves as they was putting it in, but that subsided, but it's still a little bit numb. So years went by. I still went to work and everything, still had a social life. And then in 2015, I was running for the bus and I felt my knee go. And I thought, oh, I couldn't actually walk on it. It didn't hurt or anything, but I just couldn't walk on it. Anyway, went to the hospital. They said that it was just a overstretched tendon. Just do exercises to strengthen it, so I did. But it seemed to bring on more symptoms of the Syringmeilia. So I started getting more numbness from my waist down, all the way down to my ankle, and then mainly around my knee as well. So I had some more MRIs, but they said the size of the syrinx is still the same, and but they found that I've got other complications with my knees, like arthritis, and they said that my kneecap was slightly distorted. So all that pain together doesn't help. What else? So the symptoms that I had are mainly really hot burning sensation. My thigh is really stiff. Like when I'm walking, I feel like I'm actually dragging it. I mean, it may not look like it, but that's what it feels like. And around my knee is painful, and my calf feels like it's on fire as well, burning hot and hot at the same time. And around the bottom of my ankle and my toes, they just feel numb and tight. And then the overall pain is from here all the way down, like so, on my right side, and then across my back. So I take painkillers for it, and I had a spinal cord stimulator fitted because I didn't feel that the medications that I tried helped with the pain. Hardly touched it, but the spinal cord stimulator helps more with the pain, which is good. I mean, when I was reading up about it, most of the information that I found was from America. There's no one really in England speaking about it. I've looked on YouTube and saw a few people's stories, but none of them was from the UK. The neurologists that I see here, they know that I have it, but from what I gather, they don't actually know much about it. And they try to manage my symptoms with gabapentin, and then I was on pregabalin for quite a while, the highest dose of pregabalin, which just, the pain was still there, it just made me sleepy and dopey. And then they tried all these different antidepressants because they're supposed to help with nerve pain as well, but I didn't find that they helped at all. They just made me really spaced out and more tired. So definitely no driving with all that concoction going on. I mean, I think there are cases where people actually die from it, but I think what I read was around 20%, and around the age of 47 upwards. But I think that's because they have organ failure as well. I've had loads of MRIs over the years, and they've never said, or I haven't had any symptoms of any organ failure or anything like that. So fingers crossed it stays that way. Yeah, I just wanted to bring awareness to it, really. Like people and the judgments. They see that you can speak, so they automatically think that you're okay. Just because I don't perform that I'm in pain doesn't mean that I'm not in pain. I am in pain right now. Here feels like there's a hot poker in my hand, and under my armpit feels like there's a hot poker, and all down my right leg is on fire. So it's quite difficult for me to go out as well, because even clothes hurt my skin. It might sound really weird, but the things touching my skin, even me resting my arm on my own leg, it's agony. So I'm kind of hovering at the minute, and I kind of sit with my hands on my stomach, trying to keep my arms away from touching my leg because it hurts so much. So I do walk with a stick most of the time, because part of the symptoms as well is bad balance, and then I guess it's arthritis in the other knee as well. It bows a lot, so if I haven't got a stick, I stumble and all over the place and look like I'm drunk when I'm not. So I use a stick for balance and to stop me from falling over, mainly. I do walk quite slow, but I think that's due to the pain and then the stiffness in my right leg. Even if I do try to walk faster, I'm getting nowhere fast. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, that's why I thought I would do this video to bring awareness to it. I've seen some other people's stories, and you know, they have problems going to the toilet and use wheelchairs and thin frames and things like that. I mean, I don't really go out much because it's the walking side of it, but at the same time, I don't really want to be sitting in a wheelchair either. I'm trying to stay as mobile by myself as possible, but if it comes to it, I'll have to use a wheelchair. Yeah. Personally, I don't know anyone or heard of anyone around me or someone knowing of someone who has it. It's just me. And apparently you can have it from birth or from a trauma. So I'm guessing mine was from a trauma, which was like when I used to ride a motorbike. When I used to ride over a dip, it would, like, I could feel it shattering up my back, and I used to feel a little bit dizzy, but I just thought, oh, I don't know, I just dismissed it and just tried to avoid the potholes. But then I also was in a car accident and had whiplash. They said that could bring it on. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm sure if I had it from birth, I would have had symptoms sooner than. So I was 27 when I found out that I had it. So that was 20 years ago. Yeah, 20 years ago this year. Yeah, so I think that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you liked the video and found it interesting, give it a thumbs up. And until next time, I'll see you soon. Bye.